Hey gang, it's time to move on and do some other projects. For any of you that have been following me for the last year or 2 years or 3 years, whatever, you know I do a lot of different projects and I stay pretty busy. So, you know, about a month ago, maybe more, I don't know, I finished up Mystique, the 65 Mustang project. And I did all that work on that 72 Chevelle. And I'm sure there's been plenty of other things that I've done. And you know, like I say in my videos, thanks for watching. But that said, I've got to move on to some of my projects. And as you can see here, I've got my 68 Mustang, or the one I'm building for my wife, 68 Camaro on the lift, and speed buggy, which I happened to pull out yesterday and take for a drive, and that was a lot of fun. But I've decided I'm gonna get back into the 68 Mustang project. I've got a lot of parts for it sitting around, and it actually, as you can see, my garage is pretty cluttered up with stuff. And so I decided, well, the only way to get rid of the stuff is to work on the cars. So let me just give you a little overview of some of the things. There's the 302 that's been rebuilt and sitting here for the Mustang. Back there, I've got two transmissions. One of those is the transmission for the Mustang that's already been rebuilt. I picked up a vintage air kit, so that's going to go in it. I've also got a set of Summit brand ceramic coated headers. Those are going to go. I've got a brand new Edelbrock 600 carburetor that's going to go in it. And of course I've got miscellaneous pieces and parts. There's a box up there. I don't even know what's in it from Mustangs Unlimited, but it's for this car. The sway bar is sitting up there all cleaned up. And of course, if any of you have seen the video on this car, you know that I've already done floor pans, torque boxes, changed out all the front suspension, and put on the beginnings of the disc brake setup. So there, all that stuff's on there. And of course, I'm doing all the sheet metal work, as you can see behind all the junk. So the idea is I'm going to progress through removing the master cylinder, the manual steering box, because I have a power steering kit to go in it, and get all this stuff cleaned up in here, get the sheet metal on, repair any other rust areas, and then clean, you know, get this all painted so that I can start with installing the vintage air kit, because I don't want to put the kit in and have all this junky. So I think that's where I'm going to start. And oh look, there's some tie rod ends that I got a while ago. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I've got all the sheet metal for this, and I think I'm going to get started on it. And of course, the first thing I'm going to have to do is get it out of that hole back there, and probably get it over here so that I can get started. But that'll be the project, and I guess it's time to get moving on it. Okay, well, I managed to get the Mustang moved out of the hole that it was in, and now I'm starting to remove, or I have been removing, items. I know this video is going to be a little tough to cover one specific thing, because my goal is to do multiple things. That's put in the vintage air kit, the power steering, power brakes, all those things. So I'll just show you where I'm at. I removed everything off the firewall that I can, including the brake lines, master cylinder, wiring harness, everything that was in the way, let's say. And you can see there's some surface rust on that plate around the steering column, which I just unbolted the rag joint. And I've also separated the pitman arm from the drag link. So my goal is to get the steering box out of the way. And then along with that, I'm doing other things, like had to weld in one of these nuts that was missing. And whenever they put in the air conditioning, I guess in 68, you know, this firewall was a little bit different. Had this opening here, which was for the lines, I believe, that came out for the AC connections, and or maybe up here, I don't know. But anyway, so this isn't part of something I need anymore. And along with that, there's a variety of holes, like this over here on this apron. This hole had something in it, I don't know, from the old AC kit. So I'm plugging off these holes, and I'll make a plug for this hole and welding, you know, shut a variety of holes. Now that said, I've opened up the vintage air kit, and this is a plate that's going to block off the bulk of that area. It still keeps these two holes for the heater core, and then new holes for the AC outlets. So I'm welding shut some of the unnecessary holes, and just a variety of things. So it's going to be tough to make this very specific, but just trying to give you an update of where I'm at on these things. Along with that, I cleaned out the car, and I really hadn't done this before. The previous owner had a bunch of parts, and of course I had already bought a bunch of stuff from Mustangs Unlimited. The previous owner had a vinyl kit for the gauges, apparently a Scott Drake kit, you know, miscellaneous pieces and parts. And I'm putting on the original style hood, which had the turn signals. So I've already bought all the stuff for that and the wiring for that. As you can see, I've got a bunch of pieces and parts. I had the carpet from several years ago, and I've just got a variety of things. This is the steering kit. I think part of the AC kit is in that box, and then vintage air stuff here. So I've got a lot of pieces and parts, and of course I've cleaned out the trunk, or the bulk of the trunk, and then all of this trim, which I know doesn't go to the car, but there's a ton of pieces of trim that came out of the car. There's a console, so a bunch of stuff to go through. Oh, and this is the original AC stuff, so I'm going to sell that. If anybody wants it, contact me. That's fine. I couldn't tell you if it's any good or not, or what it's worth, but that's original equipment from '68. So I have that, and I also have the compressor, which I won't need anymore. So anyway, just trying to give you an update and show you progress on the car. It's going to take some work to get all this stuff cleaned up, and once I do all that, I'll start putting in the different components and progress from there.